Do you have any moves?
I got the moves.
I have some moves.
I'm out of moves.
I'm making moves.
You ain't got nothing better to do.
Look, I'm a loser. Okay?
You just gave me an idea for a show.
It's the No Moves podcast.
Yeah, what's going on?
It's poppin', man.
Yo, how you living?
Hey, what's up with it, man? You already know what it is. It is episode 6 of the No Moves podcast. Let them know.
Talk about it. It's an issue.
Oh my god, yeah. We finally back in here, man. It's been a while. I think the last episode came out, man, like
March?
March.
No. Don't talk about that.
We back in it, man. We got our main man Smalls back in it.
Smalls in the building.
How y'all doing?
He is now a permanent member, or whatever he wants to be. I actually don't know.
Dang, bro.
He's a part of it now.
He can be a part-time worker like Batman in Justice League.
I only work at nights, but I'm not a night worker. Bars.
Oh, yeah? Okay. All right. So let's get right into it. Y'all ready?
Let's do it, man.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay. All right. First off, we're gonna start off with music. Why was Old Town Road by Lil Nas X so successful?
First of all, can I ask you a question? Who is Lil Nas X? I really haven't heard of him before.
Oh, you never heard of Lil Nas X?
Yeah, was he doing stuff?
Nah, I mean, Old Town Road obviously is his first hit. Lil Nas X is the bridge between country music and trap music.
Come on, stop. Is that not just recently?
Yeah, recently. But I guess you can credit him for being like a pioneer in that arena.
I mean, he definitely was. As soon as I saw Billy Ray Cyrus on that thing, it really changed the game. But initially, the music video was trash, boy.
You like the video, man? The video was alright.
The second video was great.
I didn't really like that. I thought it was the video was trash.
When they had Red Dead Redemption in the back, it was straight trash. And nobody could tell me different.
Nah, I'm not gonna argue with you.
You talking about that one? You talking about the actual one he had where HaHa Davis, Chris Rock, and
No, the HaHa Davis, Chris Rock one was pretty good.
Yeah, that one.
At that point, the production
I wasn't a fan of it, or I really wasn't.
I liked how they knew it was corny, and they leaned into it.
Okay.
So they're like, we're just gonna have Chris Rock looking at the camera and saying things that are dumb. I like that. We're just gonna have this man go to walk down the street with a horse while everybody else is driving the car. I like that. At least you know that you shouldn't be taken seriously.
Yeah.
But as far as it being so successful, I don't understand. Because when I first heard it, I was like, come on,
it's
bro.
Something.
Is this a joke?
Nah, I mean, it's something fresh. Like, nobody's ever mixed hip hop and country before to that extent. So
that's very true. It is something different.
It's different.
Let's be honest. Like, I feel like today's rap is branching out into so many different areas. Like country now. Like there might be like pop, EDM. Like,
rap is popular.
Expanding.
Rap is popular music. So
yeah, that's right.
It's not gonna be the first time we're gonna hear. I mean, if you think about it, right? Like guys like Uzi. Playboy Cardi.
Yeah.
There's elements of rock in their music, and some of these guys have, admitted that they've looked up, the certain rock idols as an inspiration. So this is not gonna be the only time that we see genres. I mean, it's not gonna be the only time we see another. This is not gonna be the only country / hip hop record. I feel like. Yeah. A whole lot of them is gonna come.
But I think what happened was not only was it like one of the first that I've heard where they mixed rap and country, but also I think the scandal behind the Billboard 100 taking him off the country music charts.
I think that plays a role in it too.
It does.
They gave it a lot of.
I feel like that gave a lot more attention once that happened. I agree.
Facts, because I didn't even like the song, but I was like, why would you take my man's off the Billboard 100?
Exactly. Like I mean. It sounds like country music. Why would you come on now, like let the man in?
But there's literally a video of Lil Nas X on a little stage in like an elementary school singing to Old Town Road to a whole bunch of kids, and they know every word. Like, what the heck is going on? I was so confused when I saw this.
It's the number one record, man. Number one record in the country.
There was a little kid up front, just like Miley Cyrus. I was saying, I don't know.
But here's my thing on why the song was so popular. There are a few key elements and very important elements in like a popular song and like it just blows up and everyone knows the song. The first part is that it's very catchy. You know what I mean? It's something that if you would play like at like a school, a party, a barbecue, everyone can follow it. It's very nice to I guess simple to sing along with it. And number two, and the most important part is that it's kid friendly and there's no profanities in the song.
Is that there's no profanity? Is there?
I did not know that.
Wow.
Yeah. And because of that,
Lil Nas X knows what he's doing.
Parents are more inclined to play it at schools to children, and once you combine those two together, you got the key to the successful song. It's as simple as that.
Man, that's a fact. You know what? And they use Old Town Road in that Rambo trailer recently. Did you guys see that?
No,
it was only a matter of time until the song got so popular that a movie was going to use it in their trailer. So in the trailer, Rambo is, he's mad old. He's living on his little farm or something like that. And somebody comes to disturb the peace. But then, they play a little Old Town Road for just so quick while Rambo is on his little horse. Just because they knew it was popular. I guarantee that horse only has 10 seconds of screen time. But because Old Town Road is so popular, it's like, oh yeah, let's put that in there. Let's give my man Rambo a little bit more clout. Push the movie. It was actually genius. The bowl of Nas X is straight up eating.
Get your money, Lil X.
Yeah, no, definitely, yeah, get your money, man. Like, he doing all the right things, man, milking it, having multiple videos, and just having everyone have a good time. That's how you gotta do it.
Can I make a suggestion on Lil Nas X?
Okay.
What?
Take out the Nas.
First suggestion. It's actually two suggestions. First suggestion. Support the pod. Come on the pod.
All right,
come on through. We got space. We got mics.
We got the horses in the bag.
But the second one is there should be a dance to this.
There is kind of a dance.
Is it?
That's
Yeah.
kind of a dance.
Tell me. I've never seen this.
Yeah, like people just do a mock dance like they're on a horse seat, like giddy up.
Oh
Yeah.
No.
That's a dance.
It should legit be a square dance. It should legit be a.
People have been like doing square dances to the song. I have seen that, so I'm not surprised in that regard.
If they added a dance, like it would have every. I think it would stick for so much longer. I don't know how long the whole Old Town Road wave is gonna last, but it's not gonna be here to the end of the summer. I can guarantee you.
We'll see.
I feel like it's even dying now.
Let's
Like
see.
it kind
Listen,
of went down.
you know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of Soulja Boy. Remember?
He kind of reminds me of Silento, or
I'll tell you what, Soulja Boy is way harder. I don't know. Soulja Boy is in the trap.
But just remember, everybody thought that Crank That was kind of it for him. And he came with How About the Bands and my swagger.
Yeah.
Okay, so that brings in a different question then.
Yeah.
So you believe that he's going to come out with another hit? You don't think he's a one-hit wonder?
I think he's a one. I'm only saying I think he's a one-hit wonder because if you watch him do interviews, I don't think he's an actual musician. Like he's probably just. I feel like he was just messing around.
He did get lucky finding this man's beat.
Right.
I saw something where he said he got this guy's beat from, I think he dude from Europe, and the dude had just put it online for a couple dollars, and I guess Lil Nas X stumbled across it.
Yeah.
Made a hit song.
Right.
But the beat is half the reason why the thing is so fly. I mean it's like a country trap beat. I was like, wow, this is really great. I mean, it doesn't take a lot to make that great.
Right.
I mean,
Even though
I don't know, but
the lyrics are catchy though.
Yeah.
I don't want to say he's a pioneer. He might be a pioneer in that regard. Like he's not the first one to do it, but I mean, not every rapper is looking to collab with country artists. So
No, but I mean, but if you think about it, the person that catapults whatever to the mainstream is usually given credit for something.
He might be a better businessman than he is a musician,
for sure.
because he is really milking this all the way
To the bank.
until the cows come home.
Yes.
man, there's like
that flows so perfectly, yo.
I tried.
That's so appropriate.
That might go over somebody's head.
Yeah.
What did you say, Andrew?
Yeah. So like he has the Red Dead Redemption video. I think there's like an audio video. Then there's an emoji video, and then finally there's actual music video.
Really?
I mean, that man has 4 videos on the same song. That's ridiculous.
I mean, he got actual celebrities and musicians to come on his song.
Right.
Exactly.
The fact that Chris Rock will do. I'm always surprised by the things Chris Rock does, but it's still a big deal getting him in your video.
Yeah,
for sure.
Definitely.
I remember when Chris Rock was in the old what was it, the rap battle videos.
Oh yeah.
What was his name?
It was a tremendous repeat.
Yeah.
yeah. Tremendous repeat.
Yo, so I don't know. Chris Rock will do some dumb stuff, but it's still always a big deal when you get him involved.
That's true.
The bull is straight funny. All you gotta do is put him on camera, and he's straight gold.
Nah, they had like a minor role in the video. I don't even remember exactly what they said.
No,
I know how Dave was acting dumb.
You're lucky he didn't get up in there and say, "Guard." Yo, I was watching those videos yesterday, man. He is a straight fool. He has a whole lineup of those prison videos.
Yeah, he does, man. He does.
He'll come into jail like, NFL player sent to jail. This gonna be a breeze, and then it's never a breeze. It's so classic.
But yeah, no, he's a funny dude, and shout out to Allen Davis because I really thought he was like a one trick pony.
He funny.
He is.
Like, I really thought he only had like because like he used to be like, oh, come on, big fella, what's up, big fella? And then like he developed more jokes and he's able to say current. Like he's like you could tell he's just a funny.
And he's funny for multiple reasons.
Yeah.
I mean, his face is funny.
Okay. Yo, that's the most disrespectful thing you can say to a person. That's so disrespectful.
That's disrespectful.
Your face is funny.
He knows his face is funny. Why do you think he's the only one in his videos? Nobody else's face is in the videos.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
He be making that dumb face. He be making that face like he don't know what's going on.
Yo,
like he didn't just write it. It's a funny face.
I could not imagine walking to somebody on the street and be like, yo, your face is funny, my
guy. His face is funny. His writing is funny. He be making stuff rhyme when it doesn't have to. And that's right. I feel like that's one of the funniest
parts. And apparently
parts.
Too, he's doing business with another person we'll talk about soon in the podcast. He's in business with my guy, Young Hov, Jay-Z.
Really?
Rock Nation, yes.
That's your whole fan.
Yes.
Yes. I think that's a good time to move along.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you want to bring in a Hov?
All right. Listen, I'm a Jay-Z stan. I'm not afraid to admit it. You know what I'm saying?
So and the Drake stan as well.
Okay, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about Jay-Z. So for those of you,
man, we gonna get into Drake later. All right, but yeah.
All right. So for those of you who don't know, Jay-Z has finally done it. He's become the first black billionaire in hip hop. For a while, it was a three-way race, no homo, between him, Diddy, aka Puff Daddy. I call him Puffy. Between Jay-Z, Diddy, and Dr. Dre. For a while, it looked like Dr. Dre would cross the threshold when Apple purchased Beats, but he hasn't really. Yeah, he hasn't really. He never really passed that mark. Same thing with Diddy. Diddy's been kind of hovering around the 1 billion mark, but none of them passed it. Technically, Jay-Z was already a billionaire because of the fact that he's married to Beyonce.
Right.
But he actually has $1 billion of his own earnings at this point. So shout out my man, Young Hov, man.
Absolutely.
Coming the first black. I love when a black man gets paid, man.
That's a fact. You know what's crazy is that Beyonce, by herself is only worth around $300 million.
Right.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
But I would expect her to be way higher than that.
Yeah. But you know what? Also, it's funny you mentioned that. Guess who has a higher net worth than Beyonce?
I'm sure there's several people.
But I'm talking about in the entertainment industry. Her lane, essentially.
Rihanna.
More
Yes.
money than Beyonce.
Rihanna.
Yes.
I knew it was
I mean,
Rihanna.
but hold on. What else does Beyonce even have though besides from her music? Like, does she have like a makeup line?
I mean, she tours. Another thing to look out for her in the future, I think her net worth will increase because I believe she did a deal with Adidas recently.
Really?
So yeah, a deal with Adidas. So I think she's gonna release some type of clothing line or something similar to the deal that Kanye and Pharrell have with Adidas. So something to look out for. But yeah, I think she makes the majority of her net worth comes from at this point just her touring and stuff like that.
Man, they're just such an iconic duo.
Yeah,
Two hard workers. They're just.
Yeah, they are a power couple.
I mean, the king and queen of hip hop and let's just say hip hop.
listen, they never get a divorce, man. Fuck what you heard of that Lemonade album. They ain't get a divorce, man.
It's so amazing how the story that they have. I feel like that's a large part of what makes them so iconic. It's just the story of how they both came up separately and then they like kind of got together and then they had kids, like, and they're still like collaborating, like, even though there might have been some turbulence, not really that much, especially in terms of Hollywood.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
All I know is Jay-Z inspired all of us, man, when he got with Beyonce, man. Shout out to Jay-Z, man.
He inspired us to do what?
He inspired us.
me.
He inspired me, man.
No, he inspired me
Somebody-
because that boy Jay-Z, he got a funny face. So I don't know how.
Man.
Would you call this man?
I'm just saying he got a funny face.
Listen, I love Hope, but he look like Joe. He look like Joe the Camel.
Yeah, Jay-Z looked like he said hump day.
Yeah.
Nah.
You got interesting face, huh? You got to get that?
I'm just saying. All I'm saying is this. It's an inspiration that man can get with Beyonce.
That's right, man.
Oh my god.
I'm not saying, and now people are going to confuse me. People are going to think that I'm saying that Beyonce is the baddest of the bad. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that she...
Listen. All right, listen.
Beyonce...
We're not going to talk about that because the Beehive is known to be very vicious.
I'm just saying...
We don't need none of that smoke.
I'm just saying...
Listen, we love
great.
Beyonce.
She looks great. Not only does she look great, but Beyonce has big dick energy. Beyonce walks the walk and talks the talk, boy. She doesn't even... I mean, she looks great to begin with, but the way she be walking and the way she be singing, bro, the way she carries herself, makes her look 10 times better.
That's a fact. Okay.
I just want to say we love you, Beyonce.
Support the pod.
Support the podcast.
Yeah, man,
Now, I know you Beehive are always misconstruing information when it comes to Beyonce. So we are not. Beyonce is a beautiful woman. She's a mother of 3 kids. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing a Stephen A. disclaimer when he talks about LeBron James.
Oh my god. He's like,
Oh man.
I love you. Okay.
Beyonce's a great entertainer. She's a great entertainer and a wonderful wife. Let's just leave it at that.
Okay.
Let's go back to Jay-Z, man.
Alright, let me ask you this. Did Jay-Z know that he was about to hit $1 billion when he released the story of OJ?
I think so.
That man said, I'm about to cross the threshold. Let me give y'all a blueprint.
I think so.
I mean, here's the thing though. If you're that financially competent, I'm pretty sure he already knew where his money was going. He was just waiting for it.
Right.
And that's the other thing. It's not like he came out and he was like, "Hey guys, I'm a billionaire." Literally, Forbes did a kind of tally of all his investments, and they were like, "Okay, he's a billionaire."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, don't forget, this man was a drug dealer. He's never going to announce his earnings out there like that.
Hey, man, allegedly. All right, do we do it?
Allegedly. That's right.
Allegedly, man.
That's allegedly. So, yeah, Jay-Z's always been an astute businessman. So, I have no doubt he knew he was going to cross the threshold.
So, let's talk about how he got there because I can't. Don't tell me that it's title.
Well,
don't tell me that.
Let's start from the beginning.
Oh, no.
Let's start from the beginning. So, Jay-Z's path in the rap game was kind of unconventional. I mean, you know the story. He didn't get signed for a while because all the record labels at the time didn't think that he had star appeal. So what ended up happening was.
Because he had a funny face?
Listen, let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about that. So, anyways, when he came up, his first album was released. So what happened was he couldn't gain any traction with the major label, so he said, fuck it, I'll do it myself. So he partnered with Dame Dash, another guy by the name of Biggs from Harlem, and they ended up, pushing his music on his own. So he at first he signs a joint venture deal with Priority Records. So it's kind of like a 50-50 split. They pay for distribution, and Jay-Z and his team handles the marketing and whatnot. So this is his first album when he starts getting traction because Biggie, you know what I'm saying? Everybody knows who Biggie is. If you don't know Biggie, if you don't know, now you know. But
very nice.
You like that. You like that. So Biggie makes an appearance on Jay-Z's first album, and they become friends. And now some Jay-Z has a buzz. So he signs with Def Jam, and the deal that he has with Def Jam is same thing, 50-50. But, eventually Jay-Z becomes a star over the years. So what separates Jay-Z from other musicians is that this man always was able to keep a high percentage of his earnings in his deals. He's not giving up too much money to the label. It's always been pretty much, if it's not 50-50, it's always in his favor to the most part. So eventually Jay-Z becomes a pop icon. He marries Beyonce. So he ends up buying his own masters. So if anybody knows about masters, your masters are kind of like your meal ticket. Once you buy your masters, essentially you don't have it.
It's like the rights to your songs, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. So think about it. Michael Jackson, the reason why he was so wealthy, even when he was in debt, was the fact that he owns not only his masters, but the masters of the Beatles. Yeah. So, owning a masters is a big thing. So so essentially, because of the fact that he owns his masters, this man does not need to make music again another day of his life. He could just sit back in whatever estate he has and just chill for the rest of his life. So anyways, he bought his masters. He built, Rockefeller / Rock Nation, into a viable brand. So he had Rockaware, which Kylen mentioned. He ended up selling that to some company for like $300 million or something like that. And he has a lot of investments. Ace of Spades. Y'all heard of Ace of Spades liquor?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, that's him. Funny story with that.
I might need to do that.
Funny story with that. Jay-Z used to promote a drink called Cristal, right?
Of course.
And Cristal did an interview. The owner of it or whatever did an interview saying he basically didn't like black people buying his or hip hop using it in the music videos. So Jay-Z says, "Fuck that. We drinking Ace of Spade now." And guess what? Everybody, if you go to the club, everybody gets the Ace of Spade bottle.
Yeah. You know what? I've seen that. I've seen the bottle of Ace of Spades.
Yeah, exactly. That's Ace. That's Jay. Ace of Spade.
That's great.
I'm saying, and Jay-Z's discovered, I might not say discovered, but he's helped put on Kanye.
He put Cole on, right?
Yeah, he put Cole on. Cole signed to Rock Nation. Rihanna. Y'all know his history with Kanye West. So, what else has Jay done? I'm trying to think. Jay-Z just has his hand in a whole lot of different business interests. But you probably don't even know about. So,
facts.
Right. And Tidal. Not to forget Tidal.
Tidal.
Yeah, I mean it's lasted longer than I thought it was gonna last. So
who even has Tidal?
I don't know.
Charlemagne has Tidal.
Yeah.
Charlemagne, right?
Yeah.
Single person with Tidal.
Right.
But I mean, it's still hanging in there.
Right.
I gotta respect it.
Right.
This man is in. I mean, in terms of
art. Don't forget about art. He talks about in his music. Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's paintings, but I don't know what he has. He did say something about that in the story of OJ.
Right.
Bought a painting for $1 million. Next year, it turned into $2 million.
Right.
On and on it goes.
Right.
But I mean, being a billionaire, he's up there with George Lucas, Steven Spielberg,
Michael Jordan,
and Oprah Winfrey.
Is Tiger Woods a billionaire?
Tiger Woods? I don't think so.
Probably not.
Tiger Woods, I don't know either.
I don't think he's a billionaire.
No, he's not a billionaire.
That man just plays you off.
But it's a short list.
Yeah, it's a short list, right?
The Bulls.
Sure.
I mean, the Bulls really.
What about Spielberg? Spielberg a billionaire?
Yeah.
Okay.
Spielberg.
Okay.
Bulls pretty nice. I can't name too many other people, but I mean, it's really amazing. I can't emphasize that enough.
Jay-Z's a pop icon, man.
Do you guys know? Is he making money from Tidal? Like is that like
I don't know, but what I do know is that Prince, I believe, Jay-Z is involved. Tidal's involved somewhere in controlling Prince's his masters before he passed, some of his content before he passed away.
Because I've always heard Tidal was a good music streaming service, and that it in fact gives you the best quality of music. But if I'm not mistaken, it's not free.
It's not free at all.
Because Spotify is free. Like, you don't even need to pay money. But Tidal, I don't know what the monthly fee is. It's like $10.
It's like, nah, I think it's more than that. I think it's like 20 or something. For the best quality of sound, I think it's 20.
Like, who wants to pay that much for...
Jesus.
And what's killing... I may have gone down, but I think when it first signed up, I remember it being $20. But what was hurting them, too, is the content. Because...
Yeah.
I heard he really turned that around. Like, when it first released, it only had like half of what Apple Music had. But now he's really been working to get like exclusives and...
Yeah.
And a lot more.
Another thing to do is they stream concerts and stuff like that. So
They do. I think... one year they streamed like Made in America.
Yeah, they did that.
Yeah, they
did.
And I was able to see I saw a J. Cole's part.
Yeah.
It was like a rain that year, whatever. But
right.
Yeah.
And Jay-Z.
Well.
Jay-Z.
You know what's crazy? He now most of his music isn't on Spotify. Is it on Apple Music?
Nah, most of the music is on Tidal. Recently Jay-Z did this recently. Jay-Z allowed Blueprint, all three Blueprints to be on Apple Music. For the longest they weren't there.
Okay.
But a lot of his content is only available through Tidal.
I mean, I'm on Apple Music right now. I see Holy Grail. I see 444. I see Watch the Throne.
It's all on there now.
It's all on there. It's all on there.
I think every album. I think every album except Reasonable Doubt is on Apple Music at this point. But Spotify does not have he hasn't updated his catalog on Spotify. I know that.
I'm checking Spotify right now.
Yeah, Lemonade is on Apple Music.
Yeah. And I mean, at least for me personally, like I'm not a big Jay-Z fan, so like if Jay-Z's music isn't on Spotify, I'm just not going to do his album. Like for me, he's not a big enough pull for me to like, all right, I'm like to actually go out and get a title and listen to his album. To me, he's just not important enough for me.
Well, no.
First of all,
there's nobody that's important enough for me to pay $20 a month.
Yeah, exactly. But watch your mouth, man. Hope is important to the culture,
I
man.
said for me.
Oh.
For me,
Oh,
in my
okay.
opinion.
I'm just checking.
Am I not allowed to have an opinion?
I'm just checking, man.
That's
I'm always trying to disrespect somebody.
We just want Jay-Z to have the clout that he deserves.
Bro, he does, man. He does have a clout. He does.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
But don't forget Nas, man. That man eated them. Don't ever forget.
Nah, Nas definitely won the battle, but who won the war? Ask yourself that question.
Hey, man. I got nothing else to say about Jay-Z.
We're not gonna talk about that. I love Nas too, so it's all good.
Alright, well, looks like it's about time to move on to technology and politics. Hate to leave Jay-Z behind, but I don't want to talk about Tidal anymore, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I'm not getting Tidal. I love you, Ho, but I'm not getting Tidal.
Jesus.
Facts.
So y'all want to talk about Huawei?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Am I saying that correctly?
I don't think so.
Yeah, no, it's pronounced Huawei. It looks
Alright.
like Huawei or something like that. It looks weird, but it's pronounced Huawei.
Shout out to Wawa. Anybody in the Northeast knows what Wawa is.
Shout out to Wawa, man.
Bro, Huawei trash. What are you talking about?
Oh, my
man?
God.
Okay, you bugging.
You're just sick.
I'm playing.
Yeah, but Huawei, Trump banned U.S. companies from working with Huawei. Damn.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was something you could do.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's crazy.
that's a lot of power.
Yeah, and the thing is with I think it all started because Huawei they were spying on U.S. companies. I believe that's what it was. I don't know the exact.
I thought I just heard they're doing business with Iran.
I think that was it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, and I guess I broke some type of agreement that they had with the U.S. and Trump decided to ban them. And the thing is,
that doesn't sound unreasonable.
It doesn't. But this is really vague. But I guess it's only relevant if you've ever had one of their phones, or if you even know of their phones, because Huawei is, I want to say, like the number one producers of cell phones in China. Well, not produce, or I guess a lot of people in China buy Huawei phones. That's what I want to say. Like they're number one.
What makes it important is the fact that the parts that they need to make their phones, they purchase a majority of it from the U.S. So
exactly, like, and the major one being Google,
right?
Because for you who don't know, on Android, Google owns Android, so therefore the Huawei cell phone cannot run on Android, and if you don't have Android, that means you don't have the Play Store, so you don't have any access to any apps. So there, that means that Huawei would be forced to make their own operating system and have their own Play Store. And I don't know if you guys have ever had a Windows phone way back in the day.
I have,
but their App Store was trash.
That App Store was basically non-existent. You would get on the App Store and they would be like, "So, do you want to text or call? Because that's all we got."
That's a fact, and it's so hard to get developers behind your operating system. Like coders, like people know Android and they know how to code for iOS, but you want people to come to your system and learn how to use it? Like, no, why would you do that? That's just way too much effort. So they're really in a bind right now, and I guess some of their popular products, I guess cell phones, would be the P30 Pro, the Mate 20X. Now, these phones, for those of you who don't know, these are like direct competitors of Samsung and Apple.
Yeah, actually, Huawei is the largest manufacturer of telecommunications equipment, so like phones, in the world. Straight up.
Yeah, that's crazy, yeah.
And they're the second largest maker of smartphones, right behind Samsung.
Mm-hmm. And they also make computers too.
Oh,
so now the computers can have Windows as well. So now their computers are gonna have to run on Linux.
Ooh.
You want a computer on Linux? That's trash. That's trash.
Oh man, that is trash. I don't even know why they still give that as an option. Oh, do you want to download it for a Mac or for Windows or for Linux? I'll be like, well, hold on. No, I even need to trust this website after I see that.
Nah.
Oh my god! So yeah, no, Huawei's in a ban, and I don't know what they're gonna do.
So it's not necessarily a ban, but what happens is Trump made it so that if you want to work with Huawei and you're a US based company, then you have to get the government's permission before dealing with them.
He's probably gonna say no.
So I don't know.
They're probably gonna say no.
I don't know if they're gonna say no or not, but you at least, I guess it's at least possible. It's probably just really hard. I mean, obviously they've added more steps to whatever list of things that people have to do to work with Huawei.
But for me, I think they're dead as a company. I think they're dead.
Who's dead?
Huawei.
Huawei.
Obviously, they've been successful without the U.S. market. They made $93 billion last year.
How are you going to replace Android? How are you going to replace Windows?
Oh, because they can't get the chips from the United States.
Right.
Well, they make their own processors. I think it's called like the Kirin, so that's fine. But the operating system itself, how are you going to supplement that? And how are you going to even get people on board? You want me to learn this new system when I can just go to a competitor with something that I already know? Like that's a big deal.
That is a big deal. That is a big deal.
Jesus, I didn't know that we were such a big manufacturer.
But keep in mind that I mean, the effects of the ban or whatever is going to be felt here at home just as much as it is going to be felt by Huawei abroad.
Why? Because most people, Huawei. I mean, Huawei has a presence in the U.S., but But there's so many other competitors.
Because the
out there,
people
it
who,
doesn't matter.
but people who sell to Huawei are also busy working on their own research and development for the chips that they're going to be using here, like in America. So like when they can't make money off Huawei, then how are they going to put money into other aspects of like research?
Right, and the theory is that
That's true.
the theory which certain companies like Google have already presented to the Trump administration is that by them generating less revenue from their business with Huawei, that's going to lead to a decline in research and development.
Yeah,
it may lead to that in the future.
You're right because like Google has to license Android to a manufacturer,
Right?
And if one of the biggest manufacturers in China is no longer there, that's a good chunk of money that's out of Google's pockets.
Not only that, but the Chinese government has promised a forceful response that will target U.S. companies.
Yes.
Ooh,
Jesus, that doesn't sound good.
They're not playing.
And this article says
They're not playing.
that it's like an echo of the Opium Wars, where it was kind of like a trade embargo.
Yeah,
between.
But this is a whole different situation than the Opium Wars.
Well, of course, but it's kind of like trade suppression and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
no, that's I know that China is a huge market.
Yes,
that's what I know.
Yeah,
and I know that. I mean, if they're gonna escalate this, which I don't blame them for doing, then
I mean, if anything, we've been kind of escalating the situation. With them. So
I mean, they've been caught spying. So
I didn't read that.
I didn't read that.
Or they were working with Iran or whatever they were.
China.
Yeah.
Or
no, they were working with Iran-based companies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's whatever it was. Whatever they're doing is shady.
Is it really?
Let me ask you a question. This is a serious question.
Is it all?
Let me ask you a serious question. All right, it's not gonna be drawn out. I'm gonna ask a question. So, imagine this is the wild, wild west, right? Well, we all live in a town, right? Everyone pretty much has to protect themselves. So, if somebody told you, right, guys, there's too many guns. Let's downsize, right? Let's downsize. So I'll say, Drew, Kylen, let's get rid of all the guns. But I keep my weapons.
Yeah, that does.
Would you guys think that's a good deal or not a bad good deal or bad deal?
Well, now I'm defenseless.
That's a trash deal.
Okay.
So why would Iran do that?
Exactly.
Come on, son. Exactly where I was going. I'm like, I don't understand this, bro. The U.S. is a straight bully.
It is.
But I don't know exactly.
Just food for thought. I just want all the listeners to think about this. Regardless of how you feel about government or not. I mean, the U.S. kind of tells everybody to do this. But just think about it. If it's a good business proposition.
So, I thought the U.S. I thought Iran was going to restrict its nuclear,
capabilities?
Activities. Yeah. Capabilities.
I mean, I think before Obama left office, they did a deal where they would downgrade their nuclear supply of uranium or something like that.
Now, President Trump had the Iran deal.
He nixed it?
Oh, no. Yeah, he got rid of it.
So, basically, they were willing to downsize their nuclear supply. I believe it was uranium or something like that.
Right.
Okay. In exchange for the U.S. lifting some sanctions. Now, obviously, with everything that Obama administration has done is currently being dismantled by the Trump administration. I think the only thing that's managed to survive this long is the healthcare act. So, yeah, Trump nixed the deal, and I think so because of that, I think Iran kind of just went back to doing what they were doing before, and I think this is where this whole situation stems from. So, this is all I'm saying is, I mean, yes, we can hurt China, we can hurt all these companies with tariffs and with tariffs and embargoes. But just keep in mind that, we live in a global economy. So as much as we are hurting them, we are kind of hurting ourselves at the same time.
The sad thing is, even though President Trump pulled out of the Iran deal, everybody in Europe was like, "What's wrong with you, bro?" And they were still in it.
Yeah, that's another thing too.
And they still work with Iran.
Yeah. Germany is like, what the fuck are you doing? Other states of European
But
Union.
the thing is, because the U.S. pulled out, and because the U.S. has such a proliferatory nuclear arsenal, Iran, once the U.S. pulled out, Iran is like, well, fuck the rest of the deal. Like,
exactly.
Everybody else who's involved, like, yeah, I don't care if you're in Poland and you support the deal, bro. You're not a big player.
Yeah,
Right.
Like, what are you doing, Poland? Like, you're not on the field, okay?
Facts.
The U.S. is on the field. And for
Poland's not even. Paul's not even in the locker room.
So they threatened to start back up some of his nuclear program.
Yeah.
So it's interesting because I guess if Huawei if this had been a few years earlier when President Barack Obama was in office, then Huawei would have been chilling because the Iran deal would have been still going on. But because it's not going on, and then because Huawei worked with Iran, that's the thing. I feel like I don't know.
It's not as simple as the Trump administration is painting out to be.
Yeah.
It's really not. So well, let's just see what happens. But it's not gonna listen, the days of the US bullying other countries is over. I hope everybody knows that. President Barack Obama tried to steer us into the direction of, cooperating with foreign countries and stuff like that. But
I mean, yeah.
Ever since, because the train is going to move with or without you. It's a matter if you're going to board the train or you're not going to board the train. So
exactly, man. That's a fact.
I mean, would you rather? Because Iran's going to pursue, nuclear power whether you like it or not. So
wait a second. Now listen to this. I'm on the Atlantic.com. It says, it came to light that Huawei-made servers in the African Union headquarters had been surreptitiously feeding classified information to a server farm in Shanghai on a nightly basis for more than 5 years. Oh my gosh. Yeah, now I gotta get disrespectful. Come on, son. That classified information?
Yeah.
That kind of changes things.
Hey, man. It's almost a disrespect. You gotta disrespect him back.
I hate to see it.
That's how it has to go sometimes. That's quick. That's where it's headed.
But you know what?
We are disrespectful.
In light of that information, I have to say it's a good move to make it so that a company has to have like a license to work with Huawei for right now. Better safe than sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Let's see how it plays out.
Needless to say, I'm fine with my Apple iPhone 8, and I'm hopefully this doesn't have to last forever. Hopefully, Huawei doesn't get any pertinent information that the Chinese government can use to dish it. I don't even know. I don't even want to speak that into existence.
What's happening? Yeah. We live in the era of espionage.
Yes, mass politics.
Cyber espionage.
Alright, son, so anybody else got anything to say about Huawei?
Hey, man, I hope you guys land on your feet, man. I hope you guys land on your feet.
Facts.
And I hope that doesn't, I hope both sides come to a mutually beneficial arrangement.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah. Alright, let's move on to some gaming news.
What?
Hey, shout out to Radio Show.
I know, man. That's a great show.
Radio Show. A staple of my childhood.
That was a great show. Man. Shout out to those dudes. But
tell us about some gaming.
So these past few years, Nintendo has always, I think it was like 2012, they've opted to opt out of E3, and instead of having a big presentation, what they did was they would just have their own pre-recorded video and then air it during E3 so that they could just talk directly to their consumers. So essentially they kind of eliminated E3 because E3 has always served as like a center stage or almost like as a middleman, and it did kind of eliminate that because with the age of the internet, you don't need E3. All you need is to put a video up, and people are gonna find your YouTube channel. So now we hear that Sony, they're actually pulling out of E3 as well. They won't have a presentation. So now the only other major company that's making a presentation at E3 is going to be Xbox. So what do you guys feel about that? Do you think that at E3 is just in a few years is gonna fade away and that companies are now just gonna have their presentation just be live streamed through the internet?
First and foremost, I think we should now call it E1 because they already lost 2 other people.
Yeah, right.
Nah, I think that's bad.
Wait, no, you can't call it E1 because of the trademark infringement.
Okay.
I can see that coming.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, they should be paying me for that name. But yeah, this doesn't sound good to me. I've never been a big E3 dude, but I do know that every time it comes around, pertinent information is divulged. Yeah. And now that you're only gonna have Xbox, I mean, yeah, and Xbox isn't even like really. I'm not even interested in the Xbox news. I'm gonna be honest. I don't have an Xbox, but I do have a Wii and I do have a PS4.
Let's talk about the Wii. The Wii is done. Let's talk about the
God.
Wii.
Come on, son. Fine. Yeah. So what does that mean? That there's just going to be... Do you think there's going to be just as many events and they're all going to be Xbox based, or they're going to cut the events down?
They have to cut the events down.
So usually, like, they'll have like 2 or 3 hours like blocked off for their respective press conferences. So Xbox's press conference is still going to be like about 2 or 3 hours. And it's just that we're just not going to be hearing anything from Sony, or they may say something, but they're not at E3.
You know,
and here's the thing about E3. E3 is really for the press to get news out to the audience. But now they're kind of eliminating the press and just going directly to consumer. So that's why they're not having presentations. Now they still may have a few games as a show floor, but it's really just gonna be Xbox having the whole lights and flashy things for their press conference.
What about my man's Google? They came out with Stadia. Just come on, son.
No, son.
Can we get it back up to
I'm
E2?
not gonna buy a system just to play Android. I put that shit on my phone.
Oh
man, jeez.
Oh my god.
Is it possible, Andrew? Tell me if it's possible.
They haven't said anything.
They haven't said anything, but I don't see why they couldn't, do a little something.
I'm not buying a console just to play Angry Birds. I'll play that shit on my phone.
I think Stadia is more than that. Stadia is like kind of like like a console in the cloud.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay. Okay.
Somebody trademarked that. So.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what Google said.
All right.
So.
I rock with that, but don't market Temple Run Angry Birds to me.
Oh my god, this man just here to slander.
No, I love Google, but I'm just saying, go hard or go home, man.
Nah, they're gonna go hard.
All right.
That's
I'm all for it.
And Microsoft is gonna go hard as heck.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're gonna announce a new console because they have to.
Yeah, rumors are Microsoft is gonna announce the next generation console.
Yeah. Don't call that shit the Xbox too.
They said something about the PS5, but I don't know.
I think they've already been like, what's the phrase I'm looking for? Like, when you start talking to developers and stuff like that.
Okay.
Like, trying to give them access to the new technology so that they can start working on games and stuff. So they've already done that.
So whatchamacallit? There's I think Sony at least is going in other directions because I think they might try their own like direct broadcast throughout the year.
That's what they're thinking about doing.
I mean, that makes more business sense if you think about it.
Yeah.
You might as well just capitalize because really, like, if you think about it, why am I gonna give you clout? and let you eat off, advertising and stuff like that.
I don't think that if you're gonna join like a big like thing like E3, it's not because you're giving them clout. It's because they already have it, and because you want to get your stuff in front of millions of viewers.
Right.
So
yeah, but
I don't know why did they pull out?
2002. You don't need that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess if you put your trailer or whatever,
you put on live, what's stopping just from
do it like a Sony event, and I guarantee you the same amount of people that are going to tune in to watch your launch specifically, will tune into your broadcast, and instead of E3 capitalizing off of advertising or with basic attention, you can capitalize off of it.
That's a fact, because E3, I mean, is probably more niche than we give it credit for. I mean, gaming itself is like, it's in its own little category, so it's not that many people going to be watching it that already aren't tuned into what's happening in gaming.
Right.
So if you just want to release it on the internet, the people who want it will find it.
Right.
That's true. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like these press sites like GameStop, IGN, I feel like they're just not as relevant as they used to be. People don't really need them. There's a lot of people out there that are willing to just advertise your game free, almost for free, to be honest. People just play your game on Twitch, and
I definitely rely on them.
That's a fact.
I rely on them just as much for their ratings as I do for the news. I used to, but not anymore. I really not anymore. I just feel like, because can't they go to E3 and like play the game, like play a little like preview of the game, and then they'd be like, oh yeah, they look pretty good.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, so many YouTubers do that already. It's just like, well, there's no need to have IGN. Like you're not needed anymore.
What makes IGN worse than the YouTubers?
I mean, typically, if you watch a lot of IGN videos, like, you can just tell, like, these people aren't passionate about gaming, and they're not really gamers. Like, they're a gaming journalist first, right, and a gamer second. So it just seems that like they don't really care. And if you want someone to describe a game to you, you would want someone who's actually passionate and cares about gaming. Because after a while, it just seems like these people at IGN and GameStop are just doing a job, and it's not entertaining to watch.
I hear you.
Dang, that's rough, IGN. I hate to hear it.
That's what it is.
But I feel you on that. I mean, a lot of these big corporations sometimes go that way where it just feels like something that they have to do instead of something that they love doing.
Looking at you, DC.
Looking at who?
DC Comics.
Oh, Jesus. Don't. You're right. But not DC Comics, only the DC Cinematic Universe. But we're
DC Cinematic. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, Warner Brothers. Let's say Warner Brothers.
Yeah, okay, yeah. They're animated stuff, man. That is amazing.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. How do you make such good animated quality movies with good storylines that wrap up and then nice and tight, and then you go to the old Zack Snyderverse, and it gets trashed.
Right.
I don't know.
Listen, matter of fact, I'm going on a rant. All right.
Oh, Jesus.
Christian Bale needs to come back as Batman. Right. Stop messing around, okay?
Right. First and foremost, I want everybody to know that this is not on the list. But my man Demetrius is so
Christian
pissed.
Bale needs to come back as Batman. Do the right thing, Warner Brothers. I'm done.
Oh my God.
I'll tell you why.
All right. Go.
I'll tell you why Christian Bale can't come back as Batman. Because I've heard people say this, and first and foremost,
he's better than Robert Pattinson.
Hold on. Christian Bale. This is interesting. We got to talk about this because Robert Pattinson, is a good actor.
He's not Batman.
People dislike him because
he's a vampire, man.
People dislike him because he was in what is
Twilight?
it called? Twilight. But he's been doing a lot of good projects since then, and he is an actor, bro.
Listen,
he be in the booth, he be in the studio, he be on the stage.
Batman can't be British, okay?
Christian Bale is British. Christian Bale is British.
No.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
There's a lot of good British actors.
That man might be Welsh.
Actually, never mind. He can't be he can't. Well,
the thing Christian Bale did was in all of his interviews while he was playing Batman, he talked in an American accent just to get that.
That's too crazy. Look at that. I want to see this. That's too much effort.
I'm telling you, man. Let me look it up because Christian Bale
That is so much
definitely
effort.
not American.
Mm-hmm.
But every time I hear his real accent,
Oh damn, he is British.
he's
Since he was born in the United Kingdom, where was he raised? Let's see where he was.
Oh
raised.
my god, this man is disrespectful.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
All of us, what a bunch of lucky buggers we are, right?
This is his-
We're life out doing something that we love. Right? That's
Oh, damn.
extraordinary.
What's this man playing?
I just played a quick YouTube video just to see, you know, my man Dimitri is astounded right now. he said, I didn't see this coming. But literally Christian Bale, yeah, he did an American accent for all of his, my man Dimitri is literally dumbfounded
I'm saying
right now.
he did it in public.
He did it, for the
In the
whole,
movies, I understand.
the whole time, yeah, he did it in public. The whole time that he was like promoting the Batman movies,
Yeah.
he did an American accent.
That is.
Oh my god. Okay, man. Yeah, let the Americans keep their immersion, all right? We
That's a fact.
think that he's American.
But this is the thing.
You
Uh-huh.
fooled me.
Christian Bale is one of the reasons why that franchise was so good. But another reason why it was great was because of the director. I think his name started with
Christopher Nolan.
Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan is mad nice. He's got
They need
mad,
to bring him back.
Well, that's the thing. Christopher Nolan, first of all, he's not interested. But what made Christopher Nolan's Batman verse so great is because it was so grounded. You can't have the Christian Bale Batman next to the Superman that they have now. Or the Wonder Woman that they have now. He's going to get disrespected. That man is a Hawkeye.
No. Listen, he's better than Ben Affleck. That's all I know.
Ben Affleck was not a bad Batman.
Warner Brothers, do the right thing, okay? Give him his $50 million and let him come back as Batman.
Let me ask you this. If Ben Affleck was in Christopher Nolan's movie, you think he would give a bad performance? Or you think
Yes.
How much do you think he would bring that movie down?
First of all, I think Ben Affleck is a
What did
is
Christian
a
Bale really do?
highly
He walked the-
overrated actor. I was never. What has he done? What movies has he been in?
I'm asking you.
What has he done besides going out with
What
Jennifer
did
Lopez?
Christian Bale do in The Dark Knight that was so great? He walked around. He was quiet. First of all, the Batman in The Dark Knight is not my Batman because he's not a ninja and he's barely a detective.
But
Okay,
he had that raspy ass voice, so he was like, "Hey, I'm Batman."
and that was Josh too. All my life I've grown up with a Batman that talks regularly. Then this man gets in here with pneumonia, and everybody thinks it's quality. I don't accept that.
Listen. You'll never convince me that Christian Bale is not a better Batman than the dude from Twilight.
He's not even a
okay?
smart. He's not.
What
even,
is this Twilight Batman gonna do? He's gonna cry.
He's not
So-
even a smart Batman. Okay, things are happening around this Christian Bale Batman that it goes right over his head. Think about the third movie, right? First of all, he walks straight up to a dude that's at least 3 times his size, and what does he do? He tries to fight him face to face, fisticuffs. That's dumb, Batman. You have gadgets, Batman. You're literally underneath your own Batcave, and you don't even know it. How is that possible? That's trash.
Listen, they just follow the comics, okay?
And
That's
then-
what happened in the comics.
And then, no, it's not. And then guess what happens? Whatchamacallit? And at the end of the third movie, it turns out that Talia al Ghul is the one that...
Oh, yeah, the lady.
Yeah, and she gets to stab him right in the stinking ribs
You
without
didn't see
him
it
knowing?
coming.
How did you not see it coming?
Listen,
You're Batman.
listen.
You're supposed to be the smartest one.
Did y'all not hear how Pusha got the information from about Drake's kid?
I don't know where you're
Did y'all
going.
not
with
hear?
this.
It was pillow talk,
Get
okay?
back on top. This man talking about Drake's kids
It
now.
was pillow talk.
All
okay?
I'm saying is this.
He was involved with Shorty, so his judgment was clouded.
Christian
He
Bale...
didn't see it coming.
Listen, I don't know what Dimitri's talking about. What I'll tell you is this. Christian Bale, we love you for what you did. Your Batman might not have been the best, but the way that your movies were constructed was great.
Y'all can never tell me that the guy from Twilight is going to be a better Batman.
And let me tell
than
you a little
Christian
something
Bale.
about the guy from Twilight. First of all, he has a great chin.
What are we,
Okay.
boxing?
I'm just saying, the chin has
What
to
is this?
fit into the costume. The chin is the only part of Batman that
Oh
we
my
see.
god, we talking about chins now?
I'm just saying he has a great
I
chin.
thought we were talking about boxing. He has a good chin.
He has a better chin than Christian Bale. Second of all, he's got the brooding thing down. Every time you've never seen this man smile once. And Batman is not supposed to smile. What do you want from this man? He's a young dude. He's poised to take the position. Christian Bale Christian Bale's out. Ben Affleck, I hope, I wish him the best, but he might be done just because of his alcoholism and,
Oh, well, I didn't know that.
yeah, Ben Affleck's been having a little bit of trouble, but he abandoned the franchise at the end of the day.
I mean, did he really abandon anything?
Did he abandon quality? No, he didn't. But my man from Twilight, he's stepping into. Hopefully he can. I don't see any reason to think that he can't embody Batman. He might be a little tall, he might be a little lanky, but Christian Bale was a straight chameleon, and I don't think it's impossible for anybody.
For the role.
I don't think it's impossible for anybody to put on weight for a role. Everybody's just put on weight for Batman. Ben Affleck was straight tall and skinny, but then he put on dumb weight to play Batman. I mean, the bull is straight stocky these days. Yeah. I think.
All right, yeah. We gonna get back to gaming, but
oh man, yeah. Thanks for letting us have a little rant there.
Man,
I can't hear Batman. My eyes go red.
Oh my god, I'm about to kill someone. Hey yo, Sue, activate killer mode. But nah, oh yeah, what was we talking about? New Call of Duty trailer. I believe it's called Call of Duty Modern Warfare. I don't know why they renamed it Warfare. It's dumb, but they only showed the, I believe, like single player and, well, I think it was just a cinematic trailer. I don't think they really said anything about multiplayer yet. They probably will during E3.
Wait, so this is like a new original entry or like a revised version?
Yes.
Okay.
I think they said who's back? So somebody's back. I don't really remember Modern Warfare stories like that, but yeah, it's essentially Modern Warfare 4. That's I don't know why they didn't call it Modern Warfare 4, but that's what it is.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
They really don't have anything else with the title.
But
we're gonna have to really refer to it as Modern Warfare 2019. The Modern Warfare entries to the franchise were the best ones.
I agree.
So I mean, for them bringing back, what exactly are they bringing back?
But so pretty much, well, here's my main thought that I've seen is that the new Call of Duty games has too much involved. There's wall running. They got jetpacks. They're sliding. They're jumping around.
What is this, Halo?
And it's too futuristic. But yeah, it's Halo.
We're like Master Chief,
and people got tired of it.
Yeah, I don't want that either. That's not Modern Warfare. That's Future Warfare.
I think I played. I think it was Ghost or one of the newer ones, and like I turned bull, started shooting him, and the boy just slid away. I was like, I'm at play this game. If you could just jump away like that, why am I playing this game?
Yeah, that's a fact. I mean,
so based on the trailer, it's back to the classic Modern Warfare 2 style. There's none of that extra stuff in there. Just I look at you, you shoot. No one's flying. No one can do some tricks. Someone can slide around the wall or levitate. It's just straight Call of Duty, and looks like a lot of fans are behind it.
I want to get behind it. If they come up with a good Call of Duty game again, then I'm all for it, because ever since really Black Ops 3, I really haven't been a fan.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't played it since Black Ops 2.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really just need it to be real nitty gritty. Put me on the ground, or put me in like a little I like the environments they used to have, you know what I'm saying? Put me on a boat, put me in a building, or put me straight on the ground. Don't have me, jumping over, obstacle courses and stuff like that. Like that's weird.
Yeah. They was really doing too much, and people hated it.
I think, but I don't think that it's gonna disrupt
Fortnite. Hell no.
You know what's crazy though? Because Call of Duty was a game of our generation, and now it looks like Fortnite is the next big thing, and I feel like it might be a Fortnite killer. It might be able to dethrone Fortnite.
Cut it out.
Nah, cut it out.
Cut it out. Because I'll tell you why it won't dethrone Fortnite. First of all, Fortnite seems safer. So I mean, I have a little sister, And Dimitri, you have a little brother that plays Fortnite.
Fortnite addiction.
My sister's 13. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, if my parents saw my little sister playing Call of Duty, they'd be like, "What the heck is this?"
No, but the funny thing is, like with my brother, there's other games. He there's other games out there that he could play. Like, I mean, your sister's probably not old enough.
Facts.
But my brother's definitely old enough to play other, more graphic games. But Fortnite, for whatever reason, it's taken over.
Well, I mean, Fortnite is free.
Yeah.
First and foremost.
Yeah, that's the main thing. The barrier to entry to Fortnite is nothing. You just need an internet connection.
Right.
That's a fact.
Call of Duty, you need $60. Not everybody got $60.
These kids don't have $60.
No.
Exactly.
But I tell you what, though, they sure have $60 for Fortnite skins and whatnot.
That's a fact.
You're right though. But back when I was growing up, man, I only got a few games a year. So
that's a fact. So
you needed that one multiplayer
I still
game
get a few
that was
games
gonna last you, and maybe a single player game.
Yeah,
that's a fact. And because the barrier to entry is $60 for something like Modern Warfare, then you can't necessarily count on playing with your friends like you could back when we was younger.
Right.
Because when you get on Fortnite, you just be like, "Oh yeah, let's everybody hop on Fortnite. Let's get a round going." You know what I'm saying? Let's play teams.
Right. But you don't even need a console. All you need is a phone.
That's a fact.
And who don't got a phone? Come on.
That's a fact. My sister got a phone in 7th grade.
Like you can have a whole squad on Fortnite, but even if you got people that never played before, the whole squad could be playing in about 10 minutes.
But I'm saying, can't you do that with Call of Duty?
You can.
I mean, you gotta buy it. You gotta buy the game, and I believe Fortnite is cross-platform with all.
Yes,
Sony and Xbox
and the Switch.
Whereas
it's wild.
And the Switch. Whereas Call of Duty is not. If you're on Xbox, you can only play with Xbox
That's
players.
a great point.
PC only PC players and PS4 only PS4 players.
Right. That's a great point because I just found out over the weekend because I had my little cousins over and my brother was playing on our PlayStation 4. My little cousin was playing on the Switch. So I'm listening to my brother and my cousin play, and they're both saying the same thing. Like they're both complaining about the same enemy. I'm like, wait a minute, y'all motherfuckers is playing the same game.
Well, that's one thing that I don't like about modern games. Where is the split screen? This is unacceptable.
Right.
Why can't you have a friend over and play two people on the same screen? I'm only asking for two. You got 100 people in Battle Royale, and you can't put two people on the same screen?
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. You got two kids playing two different consoles in the same room. That's sick.
That is sick.
Mm-hmm.
I can't get behind that.
That is sick.
But I doubt that Modern Warfare is going to come out with split screen co-op mode.
I mean, at this point, my problem with Call of Duty is they kind of ventured away from starting their own wave. Like they had their own wave with Modern Warfare and kind of Black Ops, and all of a sudden Ghost came out. They want to jump on the future wave.
That's 3 different companies making it: Infinity Ward, Treyarch, and I don't remember the last one. But it's 3 different companies making Call of Duty games. It's not the same one.
Who was the best? Treyarch?
I would say Infinity Ward.
I like Black Ops 1 the best, but I mean, Modern Warfare, I think 3 was really good. So I mean, I don't know. That's a different debate.
But they run by a cartel.
Nah, I think Modern Warfare, the new one. First of all, that trailer didn't show me that much. I don't know what you saw, but they said this was actual in-game footage, and I'm looking at this like. This looks like it's pre-rendered, and I don't know what. It doesn't look like it's
But it's not futuristic. That's the main thing.
Yeah, and it looks high quality, but I don't think that's what people are. At least not kids. It's gonna come and go, and it's gonna make its money, but it's not gonna change much.
You know what I hate about Fortnite?
Tell me what.
And why I could never get behind it.
Wait, let me guess.
Before you go on, name one thing you like about Fortnite.
There's no progression in the game. Okay, let me.
Fortnite
is a progressionist game. It's the same thing all over and over again. At least with Call of Duty, as you rank up, you go attaching for your guns. You go new perks. Right. I mean, granted, when you get to 50, you can prestige again and reset it. But at least there was some sense of progression. Well,
That's a
Fortnite,
fact.
the only thing you can change are skins, and that costs money. All right.
Well, I appreciate
really-
the fact that you can't
So
pay
really,
to win.
what is my incentive to play the game?
I appreciate the fact that you can't buy guns and you can't buy like you can't basically play to win. I
Yeah,
paid to pay to
but
win.
here's it. But you don't like rank up and unlock guns. You know, something to keep you playing.
I mean, some people would argue that is one thing that makes Fortnite great. It's a great equalizer.
Nah,
It's
no,
only
but
it's
for
only
me-
based on your skill
Nah,
and not how
bro.
long you've been playing.
But for me, it's just that, like, if I don't have a goal in the game, I'm gonna stop playing the game. Because after I win about a couple matches, I'm like, all right, I won. What's next? I'm gonna stop playing. That's it.
Facts. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, it is just the same thing over and over again. Especially if you're playing Battle Royale.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't play Fortnite, but these kids really do love it, and they'll play it every day. And they're finding something new every time they play it.
You already know my story.
It's always a different experience because there's always different people, and you usually land in a different spot, even though it's always the same map.
Right.
But they constantly update Fortnite so that they have
they do.
different elements to it, different people in it, you know. So I mean, they try to keep it as fresh as possible and stick to its core values at the same time.
Yeah,
I gotta respect what they're doing.
I respect it. I respect the hustle. Listen, any free game that can generate, what was it, upwards of like $3 billion in revenue or something like that.
Freemium.
Salute,
Yeah,
man.
premium.
Salute.
Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah, but I'll never get into it. I'll tell you that right now.
You'll never catch me being Fortnite.
I couldn't do it.
And I don't know. I don't necessarily know why that is. First of all, I'm trash at it. Okay, let me get that out of the way. If I pick up,
Maybe that's why.
I don't. but this is the thing. I don't think that it's easy to play. Like my sister never wins. I don't know about your brother. Does he ever win?
He wins, yeah.
Does he win?
He wins, but you should just see, like, he plays many, many hours. It's ridiculous. Like, my brother had he's in 8th grade.
Yeah.
He had a formal, and he takes a picture.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, yo, bro, come look at this. I'm thinking he's going to take a picture taken with a girl or something like that.
Oh, no.
He's taking a picture with, like, 4 of the dudes, and he's like, all right, cool. Like, those are your boys or whatever. He's like,
Yeah, that's cool.
he said, you're looking at the 5 best Fortnite players in the school. I felt like grabbing the phone and slamming it on the floor.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, man.
Wait, hold on. Is that a squad or no?
I think that's a squad, yeah.
I think that's cool.
That's a squad. You can have a squad feel like that. I mean, you want to.
That's a fact.
No, but he really believes that in his opinion, like,
he might be the best players in the school.
best players in the school.
Hey, now, hold on, Dimitri. Hold on. Now, you know damn well back when we was in high school, nigga, my KD like 50. I got 30 rate KD. You know niggas was like that.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. The kill
That's
death
a-
relationship. We live by it. And mine was always trash.
You know what? I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
My KD 2.5. Niggas is always about that shit. You know that shit. Niggas was always hype about
Oh,
that.
goddamn, you gotta dance, man. Talk to some girls or something like that, man. Come on.
That's true. That's true. Huh? Hey man, but he young though. That's true. That's true.
I definitely remember that feeling.
It's the game that swept the generation, and now that there's so many people playing it, it's hard to stop that machine from going forward. I mean, it's just because it's so familiar and so easy to hop on, and now that it has such a large audience, how could you switch to anything else?
It's not gonna happen. Well, I don't think anybody's gonna get in the way. I just think one of those things where the company gets tired of supporting it, or people just grow tired of it over time. I don't think one company's gonna get in the way.
And unlike Call of Duty, they're not coming out with new versions. Everybody's they're coming out with new versions, but everybody's playing the same version.
Right.
So it's not like you have to divide your fan base into different people playing different games.
Right.
That's true. Sure. All you gotta do is put in an update. Happy with download update, and that's it.
Everybody's playing the best version.
Exactly.
Nobody has to get. Nobody's getting jaded.
Right. Jaded.
Yeah, so I don't know when Fortnite will end. I feel like the buzzes has slowed down a little bit people are going to the other games like Apex Legends. That was popular.
Has the bus slowed down?
Listen,
Because
the knockoff can never be better than the original.
Apex Legends.
Ask the Houston Rockets. Okay.
When I see Fortnite,
Apex Legends is a knockoff. In fact, Fortnite copied their whole game idea from PUBG. Well, let's not forget where it started from.
That's a fact.
But at this point, Fortnite is the Golden State Warriors of
don't do this to me.
Battle Royale.
Don't bring up no
Apex Predators.
First of all, Dimitri's analogies today have been trash. Can we just say that? It has been terrible.
We was talking about Batman. This nigga brought up Drake.
Every time he brings up an analogy, I am literally lost in the sauce.
No, I brought up Batman because we talking about how a woman messed up Batman's plans.
Okay,
just like a woman.
Andrew, I'm done.
Just
okay. I don't know where he's at.
Let me stop. Let me stop. I'm done.
But listen. When I see Fortnite in Avengers Endgame, that's how you know it's a cultural movement that can't be stopped.
For sure. But here's the thing though, like they did that because you know Fortnite has last year they had a Thanos mode.
That's a fact.
So I guess they had a little partnership. Like, all right, if you're gonna put Avengers in your game, then we'll put you in our movie. I think they had a little deal like that.
Is that what happened? Well, I mean, still everybody recognized it,
right?
Anybody who watched Avengers, people are just as familiar with Fortnite as they are with Avengers.
Yeah.
As with what?
That wasn't by accident.
As they are with Avengers.
Yeah, I agree with Smalls. Yeah. It wasn't by accident. That's when
I mean, so when it came up, it literally got a laugh from the audience that Thor was playing Fortnite.
Yes.
Yeah.
Big spoilers. Thor plays Fortnite.
Yes.
Man, if you haven't seen Avengers by now, bro, it is June 8th, man.
I agree.
If you haven't seen it by now, you didn't want to watch the movie.
If you haven't seen it by now, you didn't want Avengers to beat Avatar for the #1 box office in the world.
Yes, pretty much.
and so I say fuck you. Because Avengers Endgame is a better movie than Avatar.
It's not better than Infinity War.
Alright, let's move on to the next topic.
I'm joking.
Separate thing on his own.
We'll talk, and we say it for the
in the future we will talk about Avengers, but not today because we're here on limited time, and I will talk about that for 2 hours. I swear.
Oh my god! All right. Let's move on.
Can we move on to the NBA series because Dimitri brought that up in some type of random analogy.
Okay. Yeah. And then we'll jump back. Okay, yeah.
All right, bet. So, Dimitri, catch us up on what's happening in the series.
So,
we're on Game 4 today.
No, we passed Game 4. We're going to Game 5. Game 4 was yesterday.
Yeah. That's a fact. Okay, fine, cool. Semantics,
right? So, it's a new era. It looks like we're at the dawn of a new era.
Warriors Raptors. Who do you think's got the?
I think Raptors got it. They're gonna take it at this point because KD is definitely out.
A new era.
I think KD tore his Achilles. I think his injury was far worse. Yeah, I think his injury was far worse than what they let on, and it's over for him at this point.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like, if they were gonna play him in this next game in Game 5, then I would have expected him to at least warm up or at least like play a couple minutes in Game 4.
Right. But the thing is, apparently they're saying he hasn't been doing any basketball-related activities. Like he's pretty much out of shape or whatnot right now. I mean, as long as the man can shoot and at his height just take 1 or 2 dribbles, I would have him on the court. But apparently he's far more disabled than they've let on. So
I hope it's not career ending.
It's definitely not career ending. Definitely not career ending. But
because he saw what happened to what's up with the weak knees? What's his name? Derrick Rose.
Yeah. You gotta disrespect Derrick Rose like that, man.
Yeah, you left me to wait for my man.
Right, but KD. At the end of the day, he's 7 foot. He can dribble. He doesn't even need that much speed. To be honest, he can just shoot over people. So I think he's gonna bounce back from whatever injury he has. But the issue is that we don't know if he's like what his plans are. Is he gonna stay with Golden State to leave? So, but I mean, he's not gonna play. Boogie Cousins. Let's talk about Boogie. Boogie had no business coming back on the court with that performance he put on. Yeah, that man just hurt his value.
Well, first of all, I think I saw him. He was still limping.
Yeah, he's hurt.
Yeah,
he hurt his value for free agency.
Yeah.
So,
but that's the thing. He gave a really great performance in what was that game 2?
Game 2 he did, but
so I thought since then he was gonna be fired, but
game 3
he fell apart.
It fell apart.
And then he barely. I don't even think he got time in game 4.
Nah, not that much playing time. They ran him off the court.
Yeah.
So
I really think the series is over.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, there's too many injuries for Golden State. And
who else is injured? I know Looney is injured for the Warriors, right?
Looney, KD, DeMarcus. Clay is still hobbled, even though he put on a great performance last night.
Okay.
And they just don't have as much depth as they did before.
That's true. Right.
That's the issue when you have all these stars. If one of them gets hurt, then there's a big...
Like when Clay wasn't on the field, I was like...
They can't... Nobody can...
Draymond, I guess?
Nah, but that's not his role. Draymond is a great facilitator and a great defender and a rebounder.
Uh-huh.
He's never been... I mean, he'll knock down shots from deep, but it's like when everything's going right, he'll take shots. So, I mean, if you watch them, when Draymond gets the ball, his first inclination is to just give the ball. They'll leave him wide open, and his first inclination is to give the ball back to Steph or Clay. So,
talk about Iguodala, man. That man can hit some shots if he's wide open.
But he's not.
But he's not. and when he is, he sometimes bricks.
Right.
They leave him open. Sometimes they leave him open on purpose just to guard
Oh,
Curry.
for sure. That's Listen, that's the reason.
And that's okay. That's okay. A safe move. That's a safe move. That's a decent bet that he might not make. He might not
make it. Like I said, we had this discussion before, and game 2, I do not blame them for leaving Iguodala that open because you don't want Steph Curry, the greatest shooter of our generation, to kill you,
to get hot.
Exactly.
Yeah. You don't want him to shoot.
Right. So I'll take my chances at each and every time. And game 2, it didn't work in their favor, but guess what? Game 3 and game 4, it definitely worked to their advantage.
Talk about double teaming. I can't believe how many times Toronto ran a play where Kawhi would, bring 2 defenders over to him and then just pass the ball and have somebody else lay it up or shoot it. I mean, how many times is that going to work?
But here's the thing. Kawhi, and this speaks to Kawhi's greatness. This man is on a bum leg and still busting their ass. Like,
he's putting in work.
He's putting in work. So
he's a strong dude.
I mean, Toronto's a great team.
Right, but compare the teams. Compare the Cleveland Cavaliers team of last year to the Toronto team. Now, what did Golden State do against LeBron? They said, we're going to double team and triple team you. And, I'm sorry. The only way for you to get in the game is for the others to step up.
And hold on. That's not fair because LeBron was with scrubs.
No. That's my point. That's what I'm trying to lead to. They're not scrubs.
Okay.
I mean, they're not like 5-star athletes, but they do put in their points.
Listen, as a professional,
Lowry and Siakam can get hot.
Right.
Lowry and Siakam can, yeah.
But listen, now Lowry's a 4-star player for this series.
Hold on.
For this series,
3.5.
These past 2 games, he's been a 4-star player.
He has.
He's usually a 3.5-star player, but he's kind of raised his level of play.
He really has, hasn't he?
Yes.
I mean, he's really elevated each and every game in the series.
Yes.
I mean, when you give him sometimes when you give him the ball, he's cold.
Right.
And then he's got to get a little chance to get his confidence back. But once he gets that confidence, he's on it. And so Siakam.
Let me tell you, the game last night, right? I don't know how he didn't score as much as he did in game 3, but he made some great basketball plays. Because there were times where he could have been like, I'll take this shot, but I got my man Kawhi wide open on the perimeter.
Oh, yes.
Let me dump it off to him. I got Danny Green open. They got Curry on Ibaka. Like the great Shaquille O'Neal says, that's barbecue chicken. Let me dump it off to them. So, Golden State just can't get away with trapping the best player and leaving guys open. To me, as a professional basketball player, if you've been in the league for a certain amount of years,
absolutely.
If I leave you open, you need to knock down shots. The great teams always have guys that can knock down shots when they're open. If you can't do that,
and even Green can sometimes get the job done.
Right. If you can't do that, I don't want to see you on the court. And I mean, you got to feel for LeBron, man. Who do you think you can trust J.R. Smith? Open shots.
I mean,
that man don't even know what's going on.
Don't know what's going on.
Jesus.
So, Golden State has been challenged, and let's just be honest. The East has become the Beast Conference.
I didn't expect this. I really didn't expect this. We were saying in game 2, we were saying when they go over to California, they need to get at least one win if they can do that. Yeah. We didn't expect them to get both. That's ridiculous.
That's true.
Right. But give credit to Toronto, man. Number one, they're playing their game. They're not trying to. They're not trying to copy Golden State's formula or whatever. 2. What were you saying?
Now, do you think we'd be having this conversation if KD wasn't injured?
No.
Think it'd be a different series?
No.
I think it would be a different series.
It would be a different series.
I think if Kevin Durant wasn't injured, then this would be a completely different series, and Warriors would be up.
Yeah, I think so.
I believe so.
But again, KD's a luxury. That's the beauty of having a luxury piece.
He is.
I mean, KD's a luxury, but he's also an essential part of the team. I mean, I know that the Warriors are good without KD,
right.
But I also know that they won 2 championships with him. So what are we saying?
No, this year, right? This year is the first year where Golden State's depth hasn't been able to offset the loss of a star player. If you watch them in previous years, they've been a well-oiled machine top to bottom. And this is the first year really where they've been vulnerable. And all the situations.
Like watching the games, I'm just like, is this even interesting?
Yeah.
Like it just feel like Golden State is just hobbled and
right.
They don't have a chance.
Right.
Yeah, I hate to see that, honestly.
Right.
Especially with so many injuries on this team.
Yeah. So my thing is that, and I just feel like all the other conferences have stepped up. All the teams have stepped up their level of talent. So in previous years, I would tell you Golden State was, far ahead of everybody. I mean, that one year where the first year KD played with them, they only lost one game the whole playoffs. You guys know that?
Yeah.
They lost one game.
Jesus.
So
that's amazing.
As time progressed, teams had gotten better. But still, when KD's out there, it's
and at one point the Houston Rockets looked like a valuable contender. Like not this year, but last year.
We're not gonna talk about the Rockets. They disappointed me. You
really gotta give it up. You really gotta give it up to everybody, each and every starter on the Raptors, and people who aren't even starting, because Van Vliet's his defense of Curry this whole series has been ridiculous. I mean, he's sticking that man like straight glue, bro.
I know.
Ever since he had that sticking kid.
Did you? That wasn't my next point. Did you hear what the commentator Jeff Gundy said during the broadcast?
What did he say?
He said, "Man, I would tell all my players to have a kid if they go play like Fred Van Vliet."
Van Vliet is straight sticking to this man like glue, bro. Yeah. He does not stop.
Yeah. Nah, Toronto has some Rough Riders, man.
But here's my thing, though, man. You know what this tells me? You know what this whole series tells me?
What?
Sixers could have won this year, man. They could have won. That's what.
I agree.
First of all,
I agree with you.
First of all,
it was a fluke loss.
No, I don't think they will win because. I'm telling you, until Ben learns to shoot a jump shot from 15 feet. And Joel Embiid lays off the cheeseburgers or whatever. Y'all are not winning a championship.
This is just disrespectful.
Oh my god!
This man is gassed. And let me tell you, don't be crying on the opposing team's shoulder, okay?
All right, man.
Like
if you lost
Kylen, me, you understand?
Lost like that, you would cry.
No, listen, I'm not debating that. I'm saying Kylen's on my team. I don't mind crying on Kylen's shoulder. But you on the Raptors? No, I'm not doing that.
It's crazy though. But you know the thing? That's the 7 games. Like we don't even know the six is probably gonna be in the Warriors if they're hobbled like this.
Oh well, yeah, definitely hobbled like this. It's in my mind to definitely beat them.
Like to me, this is just ridiculous.
But hey, now you know how LeBron felt. Now they know how. Now Steph Curry knows how LeBron felt.
Yeah. Curry scored. Was it game 3? He scored 47.
47,
and they still lost.
Yep, LeBron scored 51 points in Game 1.
And I gotta give it up to Curry too, man. The boy is a straight warrior. He really does fight to the end, even though he knows his team is not doing him justice.
Exactly.
He will continue to shoot and continue to scramble for the ball, even when he knows that it's a losing battle.
But let me tell y'all something.
I think Cook he stepped up a little bit, but
He definitely stepped up in Game 2 because if you watch Game 2, remember Toronto narrowed the deficit to 4 points in the third quarter, and this man Cook shot like 3 straight threes to raise the lead before Toronto would cut it down towards the end of the quarter.
He isn't enough. He is not enough.
So in the interest of moving along, do you guys think that Toronto's going to win in 5?
If they don't win in 5, they're going to win in 6. I think at this point they're going to win the series. It's just a matter of when.
If it goes to 7, Warriors.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah. If it goes to 7 games, the Warriors will win.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Other than that, Toronto in 5 or 6.
Yeah, I mean, and that's assuming that KD's not coming back at all.
Right.
That man not coming back.
And he's not coming
back.
But
you know what? At this point, even if he does come back, I think he's hurt, guys. I think he's not going to be the KD we remember. You know, y'all know who I am. I don't think he's that type of player.
Even Klay Thompson, what was he doing in Game 4? I feel like he was. I feel like he was still a little injured.
No, he kept him in the game because his shots were important because he kind of stopped bleeding for as much as he could. Because remember, Kawhi started off hot in the third. He made like 2 straight 3-pointers. Klay would always.
But the rest of the Raptors was straight trash.
They were
in the first quarter.
Yeah, the first half. Yeah. Kawhi carried them, but you have to have something to like. Thompson shots were important. Dude. Yeah. He made shots at key times to kind of keep them. I mean, before they ran off with the lead,
facts.
He kind of kept them in there because you can't expect Curry. Curry can't play the whole game, so Thompson has to be the person to keep him honest at some point. Really, for real, Golden State's problem is nobody can shoot other than Curry and Thompson. Yeah, because Toronto's leaving open shooters.
Well, that's the thing. Nobody can shoot. But why? What are we doing about this? Why don't we send Iguodala to go score 2?
But he can't. That's not his game. I mean, he's not a shooter.
Defense, bro.
Yeah, he is, isn't he?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
And they're actually contesting Iguodala more. If you watch the game, the shots where they put a hand in Iguodala's face, they've kind of been way off. It's kind of been way off.
Why can't they send Draymond Green in there?
That's not his game.
They got too many people who's not his game.
I'm gonna say some names, right? I'm gonna say some names, right? Kevin Durant and players that were on the team last year but not on the team this year. Nick Young, Patrick McCaw, who's actually on the Raptors, right? Those are shooters, right? Who they have on the court right now for Golden State? They have Aaron McKinney, okay? He's not a shooter. He's not a shooter. Who else? They have Sean Livingston, not a shooter.
He got a mid range.
Mid range, but they're giving them wide open shots from the 3-point line. They're not taking it. They're missing it or they're not taking it. So, and since Kevin Durant is not there, they can just key in on Curry. So. Listen, he's a great player. He's a great player, Kevin Durant, and it's his absence now more than ever is noticeable. I'll say that. Noticeable. You can't make the argument the argument that they were good without him is not as strong right now as it was in previous years. So, hey, it happens. Injury's part of the game. They've just been lucky for these past 5 years to never have to deal with it that much, but. Injuries make or break dynasties.
Hate to say it about it. I wonder in the future if people are gonna say, "Oh yeah, the Raptors only won that because they were playing against a Warriors that was trash."
But I can use that argument all day. I could say Golden State won the first championship because Kyrie and Kevin Love were injured. I can make the argument. Second for the 2016 finals, I could say Draymond suspension, maybe different story. So there's always gonna be a what if. You just
right.
I don't get caught up in that. This is what I'm trying to say.
Uh-huh.
I feel you. I feel you. Everybody.
There's always a what if.
Anybody who wins the title straight up.
Right.
They should get the same club.
Yeah.
Respect. All right, let's move on to the next topic.
All right, what do you guys want to talk about?
Yo, I really need to talk about this Disney real quick, just because we're in the heat of it. We're in the moment. This is the moment where Disney takes over the entire.
Yes, let's go for it. Let's go for it.
This is the moment where Disney takes over the entire movie landscape. I mean, first of all, we're gonna get to this, but the live action remakes are grating on my soul, and I don't like what I'm seeing.
No. Have you seen these remakes? Did you go into the movie theater and purchase a ticket and watch these movies?
I like that question that you asked, Andrew, because it really illuminates where my knowledge starts and stops. Yes, I did. Okay. First of all, I've seen every remake. Okay, so once you start the question, you're like, "This not gonna get disrespectful."
Don't be disrespecting Smalls like that, man. He knows his shit. Okay.
Exactly.
You told me you wasn't trying to see this. You wasn't trying to see. All right.
I wasn't trying to. I wasn't trying to, but Disney is so big that they forced me to. Okay. What else is in the movie theaters? I don't even know. People only go to see Disney releases.
That's a fact.
Oh my!
Ever since I think it was Maleficent that really started this whole trend.
Yeah.
Disney has been trying to put out these little, movies, and literally they've been getting worse and worse. Maleficent wasn't that bad because they took a story that you didn't know and put it on the big screen. They gave you a different perspective. So the Cinderella wasn't that bad either because they fleshed out the characters. They fleshed out the prince and they fleshed out Cinderella. But when they start doing things the exact same way in the new ones that they did in the old ones, that's when I have a problem. The Jungle Book, for as good as it was it almost the exact same movie. Pretty much worse, except for the way it looked. Because the songs weren't as good. And all of the voices were fine, but I just didn't like I don't think it was the same, nostalgic feel to it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Beauty and the Beast, as much money as that made, and it did make a lot of money, I think over $1 billion. It's just the same thing in a worse format, man.
Now, when you say nostalgic, did you go back and rewatch these old Disney films before you saw the new film?
I didn't have to because they were already in my mind, so fresh, so new.
Are you sure?
You're lying. You're sorry.
What are you remembering something?
You remember everything from
and thinking it was great.
I literally.
When you go back to it, it's not as good as you thought it was.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, Andrew?
I'm just asking.
Literally, Beauty and the Beast won an Oscar.
I'm not a Disney expert. I'm just asking.
Literally, Beauty and the Beast won an Oscar when there wasn't even a category for animated movies.
True.
Come on, son. Come on, son.
Oh man, my dude.
But then they got this trash Beauty and the Beast looking like a character on Sesame Street.
Oh my god.
I don't like it. Aladdin was meh, and now I'm worried because what I consider the best movie, The Lion King.
The Lion King.
I don't know if it's gonna be good.
Listen, Beyonce's in it.
They said it's 3 hours, right?
I don't know. I didn't hear that. Did they say 3 hours?
I thought they did. I could be wrong.
They have a great voice cast.
Yeah.
Right.
But I don't see any of that personality coming through on these CGI characters looking like real animals. This looks like a documentary where it looks like a movie.
My biggest gripe, y'all know my biggest gripe with the Aladdin movie was what's the Iago? Is that his name?
Iago. Okay. My man's Iago got completely downplayed.
Oh my god, you can't do that.
Wait, you guys both saw the movie?
Yeah, I saw it.
Absolutely.
Okay, I didn't see it. So I don't know.
On a Tuesday, I might add.
On a Tuesday? That's right.
Discount Tuesdays. But yeah, my man Iago, originally voiced by Gilbert Godfrey, was a straight up legend.
Yeah.
And now what does he get to do? He gets throw in a couple parody things, but it's not really.
Nah.
They
made him like an actual parrot.
Yeah, facts. I don't understand.
Yeah.
You know what I said? I said they should have had Kevin Hart play Iago.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it. He can do well in that role. Maybe something disrespectful.
Now, why do you feel like these movies are so much worse? Now, you said Aladdin, because I didn't see it. You said it was the same exact thing, but just worse. How can it be worse if it's the same exact thing?
That's a great question.
What's so bad about it?
This man Andrew's asking good questions.
If I give you the same movie again, is it somehow worse because it's 20 years later?
Why should I pay for the same movie? And I'll tell you why it's worse. Because in animation, you can do so much more colorful, things. And
This is true.
And honestly, if you do the same thing, I do consider you worse because it's not as fresh. When I see it the first time, I'm surprised. I'm captivated by the narrative because I don't know what's going to happen next. But if you send me the same thing 20 years later, I have to consider that worse. I do.
Okay. Now, let me ask you one more question. If the originals did not exist, would the new ones be great? Or no?
No,
Yes
they
or
wouldn't.
No.
If
No,
the
they
originals did not exist, the new ones would not be classics.
Yes.
Okay. Fair
I would
enough.
agree with that.
They would just be run-of-the-mill Disney movies.
I agree with that statement.
Disney has made a few classics over the years. One of them being Frozen.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
I mean, these new things, they're definitely not going to replace the old VHSs that I have.
No.
Mhm.
No.
Have they had any live action movies that didn't have an animated origin that they've done?
I don't think so.
Man, that's a good question. I remember they did. I mean, if you want to count, there was this one. What is it called? Actually, no, it doesn't count. It was about Mary Poppins, the one with Tom Hanks in it.
Oh no, it doesn't count.
Yeah, that doesn't count. Yeah, or I guess didn't Disney do the Lone Ranger? Wasn't that Disney?
Lone Ranger. What's the Lone Ranger again?
It was trash. It doesn't matter because it was trash. Anything that Disney does is live action and is not
in the animated origin.
Yeah, or they had the Queen of Catway, but I thought that was pretty good, but it didn't make a lot of money.
Right.
So what does Disney need to do for you? Do they need to stop remaking old movies, or do they, or what can they do?
All right, great question. You know what? Andrew's asking some great questions today, so let's just give a hand to Andrew.
This guy.
All right, first and foremost, they need to stop disrespecting, they need to stop assuming that everybody knows what's going on in these movies. Okay, so when you put a movie out there like Aladdin, everybody already knows them. Everybody knows it. That's true. But what they do with that is they take out character development that happens in the movie and make you dislike the characters even more. Now I can't even get attached to this new character you're portraying because you make it seem like, oh, you already know this guy. You're already cool with this guy, so we don't really have to put in any work.
True. Fair point.
So, all right. Second of all, they need to put more focus on the 2D animation. They're basing all these movies on classic 2D animation. Yet they don't have any classic 2D animations in the work. All they have is Pixar doing 3D animation and their Disney 3D animation like Coco, or that was Pixar, like Moana and Frozen. Mm-hmm. Why don't we go back to animation like The Princess and the Frog or the original Aladdin? The stuff that really got people hooked onto Disney. The stuff
that's not a bad idea.
I don't know. That's an interesting point.
But it's look. I mean, Disney does this. Disney does this every 10 years or so. Whatever. They just do a revamped version of the old works. I'm pretty sure they will do that 10 years from now. Have the same conversation. Mm-hmm. They'll take your idea and run with it. But it's just right now they have a formula that's working out for them up to this point. So
is it working? Listen. The crazy thing is, it's making a lot of money. But when they come out with that Mulan live action,
I don't have a Mulan.
You're gonna be pissed.
No, Mulan might work.
They have
Mulan might work.
Mulan?
They already have it in the works.
It might work because there's not a lot of Asian portrayal in movies.
They're not gonna do it justice. Who are they gonna get to play Mushu?
Listen, they better not disrespect me.
It's just like
they better not.
I can't.
You cannot afford to fuck up Mulan when it comes to diversity. I don't want to see no white.
I don't think they do. I don't think they are going to fuck up when it comes to that. But I do think that they're going to just.
You mean to tell me they're going to put they're going to pull an Avatar and make Mulan white?
If you're going to do this with all your properties, at least add something to them.
Oh, I will boycott Disney if they fuck up Mulan.
And the things that they do add are straight trash. Remember Alice in Wonderland, the live action ones?
Yeah,
trash.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Jesus Christ. How many times are we going to do this? Well, like we said, it is making money, so... I mean, and that's the thing. I saw the movies. I'm going to go see The Lion King. They got me for better or worse, but I think it's for worse.
I mean, yeah.
You haven't even heard of some of the worst ones, like Dumbo? Jesus Christ, that bombed.
I forgot they made a thing for Dumbo.
Wait, did Dumbo release?
Oh, Dumbo released earlier this year, and it straight bombed.
Oh my god! Like I saw that, I was just like,
listen,
I was like, why'd y'all remake him? The elephant? Who wanna watch him?
Bro, everybody wants to
respect Dumbo. I like the cartoon. I have a lot of I have a sentimental attachment to Dumbo, so don't be too hard on Dumbo.
I don't have a sentimental attachment to Dumbo. Well, I done did never seen an elephant fly. Come on, bro. Let's get that out of here, okay?
Don't mess up my guy.
Dumbo was straight racist back in the day, and they took, and then they. Let me not get into it. Okay, fine, whatever.
Oh, man. But listen, we all know, you know, where they expect to get their bottom line. Okay, it's Aladdin, Lion King. They're doing a Little Mermaid.
They probably
do Little Mermaid.
Great job. You know what? Somebody's gonna listen to this, and there's gonna be a Little Mermaid coming out in 2025.
And right, probably Mulan. I think Mulan.
They're doing another Maleficent. Did you guys know that?
I did not know that.
No.
Yeah. Maleficent 2, Mistress of Evil.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. You're not excited?
No, I'm not. I'm not. But I'm sure they'll make a killing on the box office.
No, they'll make money.
100 and... Oh, they already did that. They won't do that again.
My question is, when are they... I mean, like I said, they did come out with they're still coming out with some classics, I guess, but...
The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
I don't think that made money first and foremost when it was a cartoon.
Oh, it did? Oh.
But it was a good movie, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, Disney is really taking over the whole movie scene with its... I mean, it owns Star Wars and it owns Marvel. And now it owns Fox.
Yes, it's over.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see how anybody else can compete. Plus, Netflix is really going to have to... I want to see how this new Disney streaming service is going to disrupt Netflix.
It's going to be fire, bro. It's going to be fire.
Netflix has to improve add more original content.
I mean,
they should have a deal with DC.
DC has its own streaming service.
Oh, it does?
See? Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Honestly, yeah, I don't know what
actually
going to do.
You know what? They have Young Justice, but I'll beat up that shit. So.
Once Netflix takes down all the Disney movies and all of the Marvel movies, they're in trouble. Plus, they already had to remove Jessica Jones and, you know, the
Luke Cage,
all those guys.
Yeah.
Daredevil. I was disappointed too.
So, Disney is really... I don't think it's a good place for the industry to be in, just because when one entity capitalizes and controls the whole market like that, it just leads to less creativity from all the other people because they can't compete. And if you can't compete, how can you develop?
True.
That's a fair point.
True.
So as much as I love Disney, man, I really need them to slow down. Next thing you know, they're gonna buy what's next on their list? They're gonna buy DC.
Yeah, they might as well.
They're not gonna buy. Nah, you go too far. They're not gonna buy DC.
Listen, they might as well because I don't know.
They could buy Warner Brothers.
They could.
And then what are you gonna say?
No,
what's stopping them?
I'm about to watch something else. Right? I'm about to talk about the boycott Disney content.
Oh God.
Yeah, y'all not gonna do that to me.
When's the last? Tell me this. When was the last movie you saw that wasn't in theaters that wasn't owned by Disney?
Damn, I don't know.
Sad.
I really don't know.
Because apart from Marvel movies and Disney movies, those are the big blockbusters every year.
They are. They really are.
If the Disney owned Warner Brothers or DC, it'd be a wrap.
It would be a wrap. I hope the rest of the companies can hang in there.
Yep.
Yeah, I really hope so. Yeah.
No, I don't want to say anymore because I'll get disrespectful.
I can already tell this man is to.
I'm just really keeping, just like I kept my expectations low for Aladdin. I'm keeping my expectations low for The Lion King. Even though everything I've seen so far looks fine, but it's just I don't know. I don't want it to disappoint me. Lion King is really close to my heart.
Anytime we try to touch a classic like The Lion King, I would just advise them. I really hope they put their best foot forward with this final product.
Like they need to. Like you don't come out with no trash movie.
No, you can't do
Lion
that. You can't do that. You can't afford to mess that up.
You can't afford to mess that up. But guess what other classic they messed up? Star Wars. So what are we talking about? They almost ruined that franchise. I mean, Star Wars fans are pissed.
Yeah. No, the last Star Wars movie, okay, but it just. It contradicted the last movie.
Wait,
I
did
was
the
like,
third
you're
one
gonna
come out
introduce
yet?
a man called
No.
Snoke
Okay.
and then have him die? Why?
Makes no sense.
That didn't make any sense.
And if you can do that to Star Wars, you can do that to any franchise. I mean, the first Star Wars movie that they came out with made
here's-
so much money. It was like the third highest grossing movie
Yeah,
ever.
but here's the thing: George Lucas is not involved with the new trilogy, so how well was it really? My whole thing is, I wish they went in a different. I feel like this new trilogy, I'm kind of reliving the whole thing with the first trilogy. So
Yeah, I feel you.
I just wish they added some new elements to the story.
Yeah, like some new characters, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe don't make it the Luke Skywalker story.
Exactly.
Maybe make
Finn should have had a lightsaber, man. He should have been a Jedi. Make the black man a Jedi.
Hashtag make the Black
I
Man
know.
Jedi 2019.
I know.
Sure.
Nah,
Something.
I'm cool.
I don't know why not.
I'm cool with the whole Mary Sue thing. If you would have made her less of a Mary Sue, what's her name? The girl who's the new Jedi,
Oh, I forgot.
but who's not really a Jedi.
Like Ray?
Ray.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ray. I'm cool with Ray Charles, but don't. She really hasn't had any training yet. She is just straight up demolishing people who have trained for years in the art.
Exactly. That's true.
I don't understand it.
True.
It's okay. You know, it's fine.
True.
At a certain point, Disney's gonna realize that the fan base is so volatile, but also they don't really need the fans. And once that happens, everybody can just go home. Disney's gonna start going crazy.
Facts.
Oh man, Disney's a giant, man. They're gonna be here for a while, no matter how much they mess up. That's the bottom line.
I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting for him to seal the deal with the Lion King. Disney support the pod. That's all I gotta say.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
All right, y'all got anything else for this?
Yeah, I got that's what to say.
Damn, man, you gonna yawn right into the microphone? It's the middle of the day. All right, bro. No Moose Podcast. It's been Kylen.
It's your boy Meech.
It's your boy Drew. Rate us 5 stars
Facts.
on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, rate us up. Hit the video, hit like, subscribe, all that nonsense. What else?
Yeah, y'all got nothing better to do but like and subscribe. So
Tell your friends.
tell your friends.
Exactly, man. That's what it's all about. It's the No Moves Podcast, man. You really not doing nothing.
Shout out to Kylen. Let's give a clap for Kylen. Add regular entry to the cast. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Let's give a clap. All right.
Yeah, my man.
Now we gotta do Soldier Boy clap.
Chill.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I apologize to anyone listening with headphones.
This man.
Your ears have been destroyed. Yeah, support the pod. Like, subscribe, share. We're on everything that streams.
The Rock is in the building.
Exactly. You don't got an excuse not to listen, all right? And you and I commute. If you commute and you gotta take the bus, hey, let's put on the podcast. You know what I mean? You driving to work, put on the podcast.
Just do
You
it.
going to sleep?
I mean, you already have no moves, so
Exactly.
join the wave.
That's what it's all about.
And we out.
All right, yeah, we out.